You wake up in the morning, and immediately, there's a heaviness on your chest. Not a physical weight, like something pressing down on your body, but an emotional, existential heaviness. It's as if your soul is carrying a burden you can't quite see or define. You might feel a sense of unease, a quiet but persistent ache that lingers beneath the surface of your daily routines. Most of us go through our days functioning. We get up, go to work, take care of responsibilities, socialize, and try to find joy where we can. But inside, something feels off. There's a disconnect, a gap between who we are and how we feel. We might be going through the motions, but deep down, a part of us feels like it's drifting away, like we're not fully present or alive in our own lives. Perhaps you've even noticed that despite your efforts, reading self-help books, going to therapy, traveling to new places, starting new relationships or habits, the feeling of emptiness or confusion returns. It's as if the fog of confusion and silence keeps creeping back, no matter how many steps you take to fix it. The ache persists, and the sense of being lost deepens. You are not alone in this experience. In fact, millions of people around the world are feeling the same way right now. It's a collective experience, a silent awakening happening within many souls. But here's the truth that no one often talks about. You're not lost because you're broken. You're not broken or defective. The feeling of being lost is actually a sign, a signal from your deepest self, your soul, that it's trying to wake you up to something vital. Let's consider a fundamental truth about human existence. Most people live two lives simultaneously. There's the outer life, the one that's visible to the world. The outer life includes your career, your routines, your responsibilities, your appearances, and your social roles. It's what people see and judge. It's often shaped by societal expectations and external pressures. But underneath that, there's the inner life, the realm of thoughts, emotions, dreams, intuition, and spirit. It's the quiet, often neglected part of us that holds our deepest longings, fears, and truths. It's the inner landscape of our soul. In modern society, we are conditioned to prioritize the outer life. We're told to achieve success, to perform well, to appear confident, productive, and in control. We're praised for our accomplishments and judged for our failures. The world rewards action, results, and tangible progress. However, we are rarely taught how to tend to or nurture our inner life, the life of the soul. Instead, we learn to suppress our inner voice, to silence our intuition, to numb our emotions with distractions or substances, and to disconnect from the deeper meaning of our existence. We keep pushing forward, chasing external goals, even when our inner world screams for attention. This disconnection creates a profound imbalance. The soul never forgets its true nature. It waits patiently, whispering in the silence, longing for acknowledgement. But when ignored for too long, it begins to speak more loudly, through feelings of confusion, longing, restlessness, and a persistent sense that something is missing. And that's what feeling lost truly is. It's not a failure or a flaw. It's a message, a call from your soul urging you to listen, to pay attention, and to reconnect with what truly matters. One of the main reasons you feel lost is because a version of yourself, a false or conditioned identity, is trying to dissolve. Think of it as a mask or a costume you've worn to survive and belong. You built this version of yourself to gain acceptance, to succeed, to feel safe, or to avoid pain. Maybe this identity was shaped by societal expectations, family pressures, or personal experiences. You might have convinced yourself that you need to be a certain way to be loved or to fit in. Perhaps you've worked tirelessly to meet external standards. The perfect employee, the caring parent, the successful entrepreneur, the social butterfly. But over time, this version of yourself becomes limiting. It no longer reflects who you truly are deep inside. It's a facade that keeps you safe, but also keeps you disconnected from your authentic self. And as you grow spiritually or emotionally, you begin to outgrow this false self. This process of shedding old identities, of letting go of who you thought you were supposed to be, can feel unsettling or even painful. It's like losing a part of yourself. You might feel like you're falling apart, questioning everything, or feeling lost in the chaos of change. But here's the paradox. This shedding is necessary for your evolution. It's the process of making space for the real you, the essence of your being, to emerge. The more you resist this transformation, the more intense the feeling of being lost becomes. But if you surrender and trust the process, you'll find that what you're really doing is clearing away the layers of illusion to reveal your true nature. In mysticism and spiritual traditions, there's a concept called the void. It's the space between who you were and who you're becoming. It's that empty, silent place in the middle of transformation, a sacred in-between state. Imagine it as a spiritual cocoon, a desert, or a barren landscape where nothing seems certain anymore. You're no longer the person you used to be, but you haven't yet fully stepped into the new version of yourself. It's a liminal space, a threshold filled with uncertainty, vulnerability, and potential. This in-between state can feel terrifying. The ego, the part of your mind that craves control, certainty, and safety, hates not knowing what comes next. It desperately seeks clarity, a plan, a clear destination. It wants to fix the discomfort and return to familiar ground. But the soul speaks differently. The soul communicates in silence, symbols, feelings, and subtle nudges. It whispers in your intuition, guiding you toward your true path. It requires patience, stillness, and presence to listen. When you feel lost, it's a sign that your soul is trying to guide you in a way that your ego can't understand. This guidance isn't always logical or straightforward. Instead, it's felt in your body, in your dreams, in moments of quiet reflection. It's a call to trust the unknown and surrender to the process of becoming. When you're feeling lost, society is quick to offer solutions. Quick fixes that promise relief, but often lead nowhere. You might be told to chase more success, to get busier, to distract yourself with screens, or to control your environment more tightly. You'll hear messages like, hustle harder, keep busy, fix your feelings, or find the next goal. These solutions are external and superficial. They're designed to keep you distracted from the deeper truth of your inner journey. But the more you chase these external solutions, the emptier you may feel. Because what you're truly seeking isn't something you can find outside of yourself. It's an internal recalibration, a return to your essence. Feeling lost isn't a problem to be solved with addition, with more achievements, possessions, or accomplishments. It's a process of subtraction. It's about letting go of what no longer serves you, shedding false beliefs, and stripping away layers of conditioning, not by becoming more, but by returning to your core, your authentic self, your divine essence. Another reason you might feel lost is that you've forgotten who you truly are, not just on a surface level, but on a profound soul level. This is called spiritual amnesia. All ancient spiritual traditions speak of this forgetting. The Vedas refer to it as Maya, the illusion of separation from the divine. Gnostics spoke of the forgetfulness of the divine spark. Mystics describe it as falling asleep to your true nature. When you first incarnated into this physical realm, you forgot your origin, your divine source. You took on a human body, a name, a story, and a personality. Over time, the noise, distractions, and conditioning of the world drowned out the whisper of your soul. But now, that whisper is growing louder. The ache you feel is a sign that your inner self is awakening, calling you back to remembrance. It's a gentle but persistent reminder that you are more than your body, your mind, or your story. The longing you experience, that sense of something missing, is your soul saying, "Come back. Remember, you are not what you've been told." It's a call to reconnect with your divine essence, your eternal nature. What if feeling lost isn't a mistake? What if it's an initiation, a sacred passage that leads you to a higher understanding of yourself and existence? In mythology and spiritual teachings, every hero or seeker must venture into the unknown, into the dark forest, the underworld, or the storm, to undergo transformation. It's in these confrontations with darkness that true growth happens. The same is true for you. Your confusion, your feelings of being lost, are part of this initiation. They're the shedding of false meanings, the crumbling of old identities, and the birth of a deeper truth. It's the process of becoming more real, more aligned with your true self. This feeling of being lost isn't a mistake. It's the doorway to authenticity. It's the threshold where illusions fall away, and your soul's light begins to shine through. How do you know if this isn't a sign of failure, but a sign of awakening? You might notice that you feel disconnected from things that once brought you joy or excitement. Your passions seem dull or unrecognizable. You crave depth, stillness, and authenticity more than ever. Superficial pleasures no longer satisfy. You start questioning everything: your job, your relationships, your goals, even your beliefs. You feel a longing for purpose, even if you don't yet know what that purpose is. You notice yourself becoming more sensitive, emotionally, intuitively, spiritually. Your awareness is expanding. These aren't signs that you're failing. They're signs that your soul is surfacing, awakening from its slumber. You're remembering, reorienting, and rebuilding from within. You're not lost. You are in transition, on the threshold of a new chapter. You didn't come here to follow a scripted life or to conform to external expectations. You came to embody your soul, to awaken to your true nature and purpose. Feeling lost is part of that sacred journey. It's a process that strips away what's false, so what's true can be revealed. It's humbling and sometimes painful, but ultimately necessary. This loss clears the noise and distraction, so you can hear your inner voice again. It humbles the ego, dissolving its illusions and attachments. It creates space for your authentic self to emerge and for your divine purpose to unfold. Remember, this feeling of being lost isn't a setback. It's an essential part of your spiritual evolution, an invitation to deepen your connection with yourself and the divine. So, how do you navigate this moment? How do you move through the confusion and find your way back to your true self? First, you must stop running from it. Stop distracting yourself with endless busyness, entertainment, or external validation. Stop blaming others or circumstances for how you feel. Instead, turn inward. Begin to listen, not to the chatter of your mind, but to the subtle whispers of your soul. Create space for silence and stillness. Sit with your discomfort. Let it speak without judgment. Engage in practices that reconnect you with your inner world. Write honestly about your feelings. Breathe deeply. Walk in nature. Cry if you need to. Dance. Create art. Or simply be present. Do these things without needing to fix or change anything. Be truthful with yourself. Share your honest feelings, even if they're uncomfortable or confusing. Honoring your truth, even in pain, is the first step toward clarity. When you do, the fog begins to lift, slowly revealing the next step on your path. Remember, you're not lost because you're off track. You're lost because your soul is calling you back to your authentic path. It's calling you to remember who you truly are, beyond the roles, stories, and identities. Your inner compass is guiding you, even if you can't see it clearly yet. Trust that the map will reveal itself moment by moment as you learn to listen to your inner voice. Let go of the need to have all the answers right now. Release the burden of needing to be perfect or to have everything figured out. Surrender to the mystery. Trust that every step you take, no matter how uncertain, is leading you closer to your true self. And in that act of surrender, you'll discover what has been with you all along, what was never truly lost. You. Your essence, your divine light, your truth. Feeling lost might seem like a problem, a failure, or a sign that you're doing life wrong. But beneath the surface, it's a sacred signal, a spiritual invitation for growth, awakening, and remembrance. This moment of confusion is a vital part of your journey toward authenticity and divine alignment. It's a threshold, a sacred initiation that prepares you for a higher expression of yourself. So, be gentle with yourself. Embrace the discomfort as part of the process. Trust that you are exactly where you need to be right now. The path is unfolding, one step at a time, guided by your inner truth. And remember, you're not truly lost. You're on the way home, back to yourself, back to your divine essence, back to the truth of who you really are. If this message resonated with you, I invite you to subscribe to the channel so we can continue exploring these deeper truths together. By subscribing, you'll stay connected with content that supports your spiritual growth, inner awakening, and journey toward authenticity. If this video touched your heart or offered you some clarity, please give it a like. It helps spread the message to others who might need to hear it too. And I'd love to hear your thoughts, experiences, or questions in the comments below. Sharing your story can inspire others and create a space for collective healing and understanding. Remember, you're not alone on this path. We're all in this together, awakening step by step. So, stay open, stay curious, and trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Until next time, may you walk with love, awareness, and the gentle guidance of your true self.